Thank you very much. So my name is Oriol Iborra, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Nimble Diagnostics, where we aim to become the standard of care for the monitoring and management of patients with implanted stents. Briefly, stents are these small metallic mesh tubes that are used to reopen blocked arteries and restore the correct flow of blood to the heart. Stents are especially useful in heart conditions like heart attacks, especially in heart failure, but they also have many other indications in cerebrovascular and peripheral diseases, or in pulmonary, renal, etc. That means that stents are one of the most implanted devices in the world. In fact, more than 50 million people currently have a cardiac stent today, and more than 4 million new stents are being implanted each year. The problem is that once implanted, stents can become blocked or damaged again, which puts the patient's lives at risk and affects up to a third of the patients during the first years after implantation. And the problem that we are solving at Nimble is that today, the only way to know that an implanted stent is working properly is through a very complex, expensive, and invasive procedure called catheter angiography, which requires anesthesia or sedation for the patient, lots of X-ray radiation, hospitalization of a few days after the procedure. All of that means that this technique cannot be used as a screening tool for asymptomatic patients that may be at risk, which increases the incidence of serious complications like having a second heart attack, stroke, or even sudden death that could be avoided only if we knew that there was an underlying problem with the stent. That's why we've developed Nimble, the first-in-class medical device for the non-invasive and non-ionizing monitoring of implanted stents. But how does our device work? Our device has two antennas that go on top of the skin, just near the stent location, and click play. One of the antennas will send a microwave signal that will bounce off the stent, and the other one will catch it. And our algorithms will process this signal in seconds, presenting only the clinically relevant information to the clinician. So if the stent is blocked, at what percentage? We can quantify for the first time this number. If the stent is broken, what type of fracture? It's a simple fracture, it's a complete fracture, and now you have two pieces of the stent. We do not generate an image then that the expert needs to interpret, and so this device can, our technology, can be adopted at any clinical setting, being GPs, clinical practices, private clinics, or hospitals. This technology has already been patented, with one patent granted in the EU and the positive freedom to operate analysis, as well as another two patents submitted and one in drafting stages, as well as the algorithms registered in notarial deposit. All of this to bring a technology that can, for the first time, introduce personalized care in these patients. Currently, we see the technology being used in 3 specific instances in the patient journey. First, after stent implantation, right after it. So you can confirm that the procedure has gone well, that the stent is working properly implanted, and then you can discharge the patient safely at home. Secondly, because many hospitals still perform this invasive procedure, catheter angiography, after 6 months of implantation, just to know that everything is working well. And we can substitute those specific angiographies with our technology. And most importantly for us, the monitoring over time of these patients. So we can detect complications early on and adopt the right treatment at the right time to decrease the serious complications, so decrease mortality, heart attacks, and hospitalizations. We have validated the technology preclinically, and we are now doing our first in-human study. It's ongoing in 120 patients in our hospital based in Barcelona. But we already have a large network of hospitals across Europe that want to participate in our future clinical trials and want to test our technology further. At the competitive level, currently clinicians only have standard imaging techniques at their disposal, being MRI, ultrasounds, or CTA scans, but all of these have complications. First of all, none of that works to quantify the problems in stents. So you don't know if a stent is blocked a little bit or it's blocked a lot, so you can't act upon it. But starting for ultrasound, for example, you cannot use it to detect this. It's costly. You need expert clinicians to interpret the images, as well with the CTA and MRI. And these two already have waiting lists that are so long that even if you could use it, that you can't, but if you could use these technologies to monitor stents, you couldn't accommodate millions of people, certainly, just to have screening for this condition. So this leaves us with a very large and growing market opportunity. Just for the cardiovascular application, this is an over 8 billion total addressable market, but that's not all for us, because our technology is a pipeline and can be implemented in any metallic implant. So in the future, we will also test different types of stents, not just cardiac stents, but neurovascular, renal, pulmonary stents, but also other metallic implants like valves or sensors that can get calcified. For example, prostheses can get infected, etc. And you can monitor that non-invasively. And in the far future as well, we also have industrial applications, veterinary applications, and the aim of reducing the technology so you can be used at home for the patient itself. To capture this market, we have a highly scalable commercialization strategy, starting with a beachhead approach in Spain, which is our home market, but getting to Europe quite fast, first through Germany, thanks to the reimbursement pathway that's very clear, and then moving across Europe and the US with distribution or licensing with OEMs. The model itself, it's a selling of the device directly through bank leases, probably, and an annual recurrent fee for the maintenance of the device. And then you have a SaaS business model attached to it, so you can get a fee for each measurement taken at each visit. The main clients will be hospitals, of course, but also private clinics, primary care facilities, and CRO companies that need to test their product with our technology. This will have a massive budgetary impact across healthcare systems around the world. We have calculated through independent studies that we can decrease 25% of heart attacks, 37% of hospitalizations, and up to 65% of premature deaths in these patients, as well as avoid non-productive procedures, optimize drug spending. All of that will mean that approximately we can save up to 1.6 million per year per hospital using our technology. And all of that is thanks to our amazing team composed of clinicians, engineers, experts in commercialization strategy, as well as supported by a large key opinion leader network, especially from Professor Valles as a co-founder and KOL in cardiovascular diseases in Europe, and Professor Peter Fitzgerald as a KOL in the US and Stanford, being already a serial entrepreneur and have already commercialized 14 startups sold to large OEMs. So we have the experience and the team needed to move this forward. So now we are in raising our Series A round. We are looking for at least 12 million, but at maximum 15 million for the Series A round, and we are looking for one lead investor to put between 3 and 5 million euros ticket. The other 8 to 9 millions have already been committed, mainly by the European Investment Bank fund. And to date, we have raised a little bit over 5 million euros, 1 million from our seed round, and a little bit over 4 million from public funding strategies. So if you want to help us make painless, easy to use, fast, and accessible stent diagnostic for everyone, please don't hesitate to pin me in my email. Thank you.